There are 2,153 billionaires in the world, and only 13 of them are black. That's less than 1%. Welcome to Al-ascent. Today we're here to celebrate the top 10 black billionaires in the world. These billionaires have worked hard to get where they are. They have faced discrimination, legal challenges, bullying, and so much more, but they prevailed and are now an inspiration to the world. Let's get started. Number 10. Tyler Perry. First up, we have a new addition to the Global Billionaires Club, Tyler Perry. You may recognize Perry from his famous role as Medea, the ruthless and comedic elderly woman he created and portrayed in 11 movies. When he's not playing Medea, Perry is a writer and producer. He has his own Tyler Perry Studios, which spans 330 acres in Atlanta. His billion-dollar fortune was formed because he controls every aspect of his productions. This business strategy is based on advice from fellow billionaire Oprah Winfrey, who we'll be discussing later in the video, so stay tuned. Number 9. Jay-Z. How could we make a billionaires list without mentioning the iconic and the world's first rapper billionaire Jay-Z? Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, has had a legendary rapping career that's nearly 3 decades long. But that's not what turned his paychecks into 10 digits. After years of selling out concert tours and millions of albums, Jay-Z went into other business ventures including a clothing line, a sports club, alcohol brands, and the $600 million streaming service Tidal. He's also married to Beyoncé, which means this guy is basically winning at life. All his success accumulated into a wealth of over $1 billion. Number 8. Strive MASIYIWA. Next up is Zimbabwean billionaire businessman Strive MASIYIWA, who has amassed an admirable fortune of $1.3 billion. In order to get where he is as the founder and CEO of telecommunications, technology, and renewable energy company Econet Global, MASIYIWA had to overcome many struggles, including government opposition. But his persistence and determination paid off. Not only has he received a lavish lifestyle for the rest of his life, for him and his family, but he's also an all-worthy philanthropist. He's regarded as one of the most generous humanitarians in all of Africa. He and his wife Sitisa's charity organization, the Higher Life Foundation, supports orphaned and poor children across Zimbabwe, South Africa, Burundi, and Lesotho. Number 7. Kanye West. There have been a lot of fights, arguments, and passive aggression exchanged between Kanye West and Forbes the past few years in order for them to acknowledge him as a billionaire. But this year, he's finally climbed up the ranks as the second rapper in history to become a billionaire after Jay-Z. West accumulated a wealth of $1.3 billion through several ventures. The first would be his rapping, songwriting, and producing career. He's one of the highest-selling artists of all time, and one of the most influential as well. There's almost no type of music genre that he hasn't dabbled in. From hip-hop to gospel, West is able to find a fanatic audience for every album he drops. But the real money didn't start pouring in until he started participating in the fashion industry with his Yeezy brand, which he has sole ownership of. Despite West claiming he's worth $3.3 billion, Forbes claims that he's only worth $1.3 billion. Number 6. Michael Jordan. The greatest basketball player of all time is also the first athlete to become a billionaire. Surprisingly, Michael Jordan's $1.6 billion wealth wasn't earned from his legendary basketball career, but from his business ventures following it. He reportedly made less than $100 million a year while he was in the NBA. MJ played 15 seasons in the NBA, and he won 6 historical championships with the Chicago Bulls. His success on the court led to the popularizing of the NBA around the world, and it also led to lucrative deals with the likes of Nike. After his final retirement in 2003, he started racking in even more money, which he spent on sprawling estates, his own golf courses, several restaurants, and his own NBA team. In 2010, he purchased the Charlotte Hornets for $175 million, and their value was one of the things that skyrocketed his net worth. Number 5. Abdul Samad RABIU. Coming in with a net worth of $3.2 billion is Nigerian businessman Abdul Samad Isiaku RABIU. RABIU's father was Khalifa Isiaju RABIU, who was one of Nigeria's foremost industrialists in the 70s and 80s. Following his father's impressive legacy, Abdul RABIU started off his own business importing steel, chemicals, and iron. He would later establish and take the reins as the chairman of BUA Group, a conglomerate that focuses on manufacturing, sugar refining, real estate, and agriculture. He owns 98.5% of BUA. He's also the chairman of the Nigerian Bank of Industry. In 2013, he joined the ranks of the world's limited number of billionaires with a fortune of $1.2 billion. However, this year it's estimated that his wealth has grown to be over $3.2 billion. Number 4. David Steward. A long way from almost living without paychecks and having his car repossessed, David Steward is one of the 5 black billionaires in America. As of July 2020, it's estimated that he's worth more than $3.5 billion. Born in the segregated South in America, Steward's childhood was difficult. His father worked as a mechanic, a janitor, and a trash collector. And he had 7 siblings. Together they faced discrimination and poverty while growing up. However, after working as a production manager, a sales representative, and a senior account executive, all jobs he was brilliant at, he wanted to achieve more. He would go on to create and own the majority of the $12 billion sales company Worldwide Technology, whose customers include the likes of Citi and Verizon. Number 3. Robert Smith. Next up is American billionaire businessman, philanthropist, chemical engineer, and investment banker Robert Smith, who boasts a net worth of $5 billion. Robert Smith built his own billion-dollar fortune by running the private equity firm Vista Equity Partners, which he's the founder, chairman, and CEO of. Vista is one of the most successful private equity firms in the U.S., with over $46 billion in assets. According to Forbes, Smith is the 163rd richest person in America. In 2017, he became the first ever African American to sign the Giving Pledge, which is an invitation-only alliance of billionaires who have pledged to donate the majority of their wealth in their lifetimes. Billionaires like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and more have made the same pledge. Remember that episode in The Office when Michael promised to pay off a class's college tuition in one of the most notoriously awkward episodes in TV history? Well, Robert Smith made the same promise, and he did more than just following up on it. One of his most significant philanthropy accomplishments was in 2019, when he shocked the world by giving away a staggering $34 million to pay off the student loans of Morehouse College's class of that year. In addition to that, he later paid off the graduates' parents' educational debts. Number 2. Oprah Winfrey. At number 2 is none other than the iconic Oprah Winfrey, the richest black woman in the world. With a title like the Queen of all media, it's only fitting that Oprah is estimated to have a net worth of over $2.6 billion. $2 billion of that staggering wealth came from reinvestment of the profits from her famous talk show. If you don't know it already, the Chicago-based Oprah Winfrey Show was the highest-rated TV program of its kind of all time. It ran for a successful 25 years from 1986 to 2011. After she retired from the Oprah Winfrey Show, Oprah went on to found her own TV network, OWN, which she owns 25.5% of. She also has an 8% stock in the WW International. Her wealth has allowed her to own a $42 million private jet, grow her own food on an exotic island, and most importantly, it has allowed her to become the most influential woman in the world and the greatest black philanthropist in American history. Now we're at the top of our list of the top 10 black billionaires. Before we find out who's the richest billionaire, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment if you like this video. Also, press the bell button below if you don't want to miss any videos like this. Number 1. ALIKO DANGOTE. And the title of the number 1 black billionaire in the world goes to Aliko Dangote, who has a staggering wealth of $8.3 billion. Not only is he the richest man in Africa, but he's also the richest black man in the world. So who is Aliko Dangote? He's the founder and CEO of Africa's largest cement producer, Dangote Cement, which makes 45.6 million metric tons of cement a year. He owns 85% of the publicly traded company. The multi-billion Dangote Cement isn't his only source of income. Dangote also owns large stakes in salt and sugar manufacturing companies. And his latest business venture is starting the Dangote oil refinery, which upon its completion will be one of the largest oil refineries in the world. The sky is the limit for Dangote, and if he keeps going at this successful rate, there's no telling how many more billions he'll add to his net worth. And that's a wrap on the top 10 black billionaires in the world. What do you think about these admirable billionaires? Comment your answer below. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. We hope you enjoyed our video, and we'll see you next time for more. Take care.